I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 I got baby, I got
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LG Ultragear presents TEC Community Cup, which is powered by Intel and Crucial. And of course, we've got our broadcast partner, Loco. I'm Universe, and with me, I've got CCV today to get you through the penultimate match of this tournament. It's been a long and perilous journey for a lot of teams over here, but it's come down to the final three, and only one of these two teams, which are in the lower brackets currently, will be able to find themselves at the grand final spot going against Lethal. Prime 5 against Revenant Esports. Now, this is something that we did not expect to see yesterday, especially after Metal got beat by Prime 5. I was honestly myself surprised because I really thought Metal would be able to get through, but Prime 5 are looking really, really formidable at the moment. Their streak of wins has been very, very, convincing, confidence boosting,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it. And this should be a really good game. If they're able to win this, I wouldn't even dare to say that, it's going to be almost a 50-50 game between Lethal and Prime 5 if they do go
True.
there.
Yeah, Prime 5 heading into this matchup as well, just like their matchup yesterday. I mean, yesterday it was still a lot more closer before we head into the games and we saw the players. This one, it is a bit obvious that, yeah, Prime 5 definitely are the underdogs, but still, the journey they've had is immense. Let's have a look at the brackets and see exactly what the route has been for Prime 5, because they had been knocked down in the lower brackets right from the start by none other than Lethal Esports, who are already in the grand finals. They fought their way against ROG Academy, won that quite close, went to the decider map. They defeated Only Friends, and yesterday they defeated Medal Esports as well after a brilliant comeback victory that they had. They lost map number one. They almost gave away map number two as well, the map of Icebox Medal, but they still secured it. 13-11 was the final score. They end up winning Ascent as the decider map, and now they are here against Revenant Esports. And for Revenant Esports, well, their journey is also one of revenge, because they were having a flawless run in the entire brackets. 2-0 against Paradise, 2-0 against Only Friends, but against Lethal, they absolutely got bombarded. And they had no response for Lethal whatsoever on the map of Split and on the map of Bind. Thus, they are in the low bracket. So they themselves are looking for that revenge, and the players are looking for that revenge as well. Speaking of the players, let's highlight one player each from the teams in this head-to-head. And yeah, it's going to be Beast from the side of Prime 5 and Blackhawk from the side of Revenant. Now, both of these guys, they have been very, very consistent. If you can see on the side of Beast, the numbers are really outweighing like Blackhawk's performance in terms of kills, but it's the utility usage of Blackhawk that always comes in clutch for his roster, be it the Breach or be it any other agent.
Yeah, both of these guys are pretty, versatile for their teams. They play multiple roles. They play the controller if need be. They play the initiator, and at times we've
Yeah.
seen Beast even pick up the killjoy. And they're a pretty, great set of players. While Beast has had a pretty great impact for his team. If you look at the stats, you can see that clearly he's on, a whole other, number standard, but
Yep.
it's similar in terms of the KD ratio that they've got. The ADR, it's very close. Everything seems to be very, similar to them, to each other. But yeah, I would expect to see. Yeah, as I was just gonna say, I would expect to see
Oh,
Split today, and of course, Revenant are gonna go there.
yeah.
Prime Five taken a bind, and that's kind of where Revenant got beat up the last time they played it. And that was against
Yes.
Lethal Esports, and by beat up, I mean absolutely thrashed. And here we have Split, Bind, and Ascent, which is a very interesting map pool because Split, I believe Prime 5 are improving day by day on it. Bind is something that I'm still not exactly entirely sure if Revenant can, will be able to put as much of a mark, because if they are even 10% better than what they were against Lethal, that's not going to be enough.
Mm-hmm.
They need to turn over a new page, because I feel that Bind performance against Lethal was just a one time thing, and hopefully it is true. So
Yeah. Keeping that in mind, yeah, for the side of Revenant picking up Split, all right, they lost to Lethal here, but definitely they can improve. It was a very close match in Revenant. It was only in their defense that they were shut down time and time again. Like out of the 10 rounds, they end up losing 7 of them. They only won 3 out of those 10 rounds, so they definitely need to improve there. Knight Rider always had a hit or miss start. He's picking up the chamber once again, always. I mean, he's Knight Rider, come on, he's gonna go on the chamber, but on defense, he's got to make sure that he has a better performance in those opening kills. Many a times he died, but otherwise, for the side of Revenant Esports, well, from the looks of it, their composition is going to stay primarily the same. They've got the Astra, you've got the Breach, you've got the Chamber, Paradox again on the Neon. They are not changing anything, and that's been the entire case for Revenant essentially in this entire community cup. On Split, they always choose this map. They always pick the same composition. Their playstyle can change, but the baseline theory doesn't. And that was essentially what Lethal Esports countered. Like Lethal Esports had a brilliant counter attack set for
yep.
Revenant's defense, and they played against them. Eventually, ended up defeating them, which is why it makes me a bit worrisome for the side of Revenant. But then again, for Prime 5, we have not seen Split from their side at all in the Community Cup so far. So any improvements, if they have made, it has to be on the back end, which, well, for me, it's going to be a surprise. And for the members of R&T as well, is going to be a surprise because they don't know what to expect. As for the map of Bind, both of these teams suffered a loss here very, very recently. For the side of Revenant and their
Yep.
members, they lost Lethal. Prime 5 yesterday lost Medal as well. It is going to be interesting getting back into that map.
Well, we're already off to a flying start. Casper's taken out one. They're aggressing towards that B site, and they are finding success. There's one player left. Oh boy, okay. That was a hit onto Wimp. Did not really expect that Stranger would instantly delete him. Beast, though,
Yeah.
has given out the call that both the players of Revenant that are left right now are towards A, and Zaryev's ready for this. There's a crossfire, which should have worked, but Blackhawk will take out Zaryev. There's a lot of utility being dumped onto them, though. Blackhawk, while he finds two, is just the side of Prime Fire on an utter and absolute aggressive stance here. And they're going to be going to win the pistol very comfortably as well.
Oh, absolutely. Prime 5 completely had that counter ready for the members of Revenant. They knew Revenant would try and hit B main, like towards B garage, and they had all the utility necessary to get rid of them, and that's eventually what ended up happening. Revenant had no reply whatsoever. They were hidden. Stranger still got that kill while he was getting the orb, and yeah, the attack fell apart. So, full on eco round to the side of R&D. Meanwhile, you've got Prime 5 members on a proper anti-eco. You can spot Spectres, you can spot full armor. They know how to play this, and almost everyone knows how the round is going to go. Yeah, already you can see Zaryev gets the opener. The Spectres are working their magic. And for Revenant Esports, they just want to get done with this round, honestly. If they can steal a Spectre here or there, if they can kill one of the members of Prime 5, that's good. But doing that is a lot more easier said than done, especially when you've got classics in your hand. And utility is abundant on the side of Prime 5. Look at that. Already you've got Stranger ready with the flash. He's got the peak with the teammates there on B Heaven. The pain shells are thrown, and Revenant again cannot make any grounds whatsoever because of the gravity well. The aftershock's gonna go through. There's already the Killjoy turret, and Revenant are stuck in mid. This is what I mean by utilities abundant. Stranger now swings
Oh.
wide. Why with the ghost? It doesn't matter. Jivix is there for backup and he's ready.
Oh,
Another
okay.
no. Wimp escape. Sorry, Paradox escapes just by a skin.
Oh, they double
And
up and
another
they do
kill.
find Jivix.
30 seconds
This
left.
is a little bit of a troublesome situation. Paradox is down to 18 HP, and that should be an easy kill for Casper. And there's no utility except for the one nanoswarm that's behind him at the moment. And Casper, that's all he needs.
Spike planted.
He finds one, gets the second. No, it's going to be Paradox to at least get one before he goes down, even though he's on 18 HP. The plant will allow for the little bit of extra money, and of course, the economical damage that has been dealt to the side of Prime 5.
Yep.
A good eco from the side of Revenant, one that they were hoping comes out at the bare minimum. At least a couple of kills and a plant, and that's what they will get.
What a Prime 5 doing? I guess they're using this time to like discuss what to do, and they just have this bit of extra time. Yeah, Casper goes for the full defuse. That's that. But yeah, this is what I mean by utilities abundant. Stranger now swings
Oh.
wide. Why with the ghost? Sorry, Paradox escapes just by a skin.
Casper, and there's no utility except for the one nanoswarm that's behind him at the moment. And Casper, that's all he needs.
Spike planted.
He finds one, gets the second.
Right, so round number 3 right now, and this is it for the side of Revenant Esports. You know, full buy on their end. Prime 5, I mean, like we were discussing, Universe, you know, it's going to be their bonus. They just want to save up their credits and look for the next round. Ultimate points are going to be a major factor as well. Very, very soon we'll see ults get into the play, and on split it matters a lot, especially, you know, Revenant, they've got the Astra, the Cosmic Divide is there. Prime 5, same for them. So no Omen this time. And yeah, the Cosmic Divide will mean a lot. Then you've got someone as explosive as Paradox. Always from the side of Revenant Esports, this is one of their strategies that never changes. You always have Para pushing into vents, gaining the control, and he is loud. It's not like he wants to be sneaky. He is a neon. He makes noise. He gets everyone in Prime 5 to notice him. And already Zarya will be keeping that angle. The question is who wins the gunfight. Rather, it's going to be Knight Rider who eliminates the Sage, and it's an execute onto the A-bomb side. But Casper goes by unnoticed. And an excellent position means that Prime 5 still hold on to the site now.
Spike down A.
Well, Jivix is keeping himself relevant and alive. Paradox is trying to cover up one money at the side, and that's good. But Casper
30
has
seconds
control of the spike, and this is a troublesome situation. Paradox needs to win this fight, and he's won multiple at many times. Now he's all alone, and Casper will go down to Paradox. That's going to be Revenant's first round, but unfortunately for them, they had lost quite a bit of their players, and it was a very difficult round as well. They were forced to make moves that they did not expect were going to happen, especially that little cubby corner that Casper was sitting in, double that up with Jivix finding the kill onto Stranger, forgive me, onto Wimp. Good stuff from them to keep them at bay for as long as possible, and it has thrown Revenant into a little bit of a not so great buy. 2 Bulldogs, 2 people on half armor as well. Let's see if it does work out for them.
Yeah. For their side, you know, still they can make do with the Bulldogs. It's just the gunfights have to go in their way, and they need to find a good opener. Prime 5, in this case, are contesting mid. You can see the Astral Stars that have been placed. The Sage Wall was already there. Stranger has got the Aftershock alongside the fault line, but Paradox still pushes towards Benz. Revenant, though, for their side, in order for Paradox to push through towards Benz, it costs them a lot of their smokes, their Astral Stars, but the Neon is still here, and again, threat looms for Prime 5. They have to work around this attack of Revenant. They themselves are relocating. Look at Stranger go away from B Heaven towards Defender spawn. Everyone has come to a halt. Prime 5 are just seeing and watching where Revenant hit, and that's where the fear lies for them, because they don't know where the hit is going to take place. Revenant have their members entirely in split. Paradox is looking to go into Defender spawn to instigate a gunfight. This can completely catch Prime 5 off guard if they're not careful. Meanwhile, the spike is going over to A. Wait, it's Killjoy all alone in the A bomb side. Revenant can make this work brilliantly if they play it beautifully.
Revenant, they're banking on Paradox to hold on to the back lines, and he's doing the best job he can. As the duelist, he is the one.
Oh.
to keep the enemies at bay for as long as possible. And that brand new prelude to Chaos Vandal is helping him cause the chaos. Jivix has no other option but to save. This is going to be a beautifully executed second round for the side of Revenant. Yet again, they take that mid region being uncontested so far. Prime 5 need to get an operator in that position by somebody, or else it's going to be trouble all over. They are going on a hunt over here, Revenant, and Jivik should be hearing all of this. And hopefully they're able to save this, is what they would be thinking. But Paradox is hot on their trail. He's cleared off so many angles. This time he's not going to be able to clear off one, but his teammate will get a trade though, and so will they get the last one. Revenant find the second and a clean up round as well as they throw number 2 on the board and their opponents into an eco.
Off the side of Prime 5, yeah, desperate economic times. They started off very strong. Won the pistol, got the anti-eco, but seems like as soon as Revenant have gotten their hands on better rifles and more accurate weaponry, Prime 5 seem to be struggling a little bit, but still, for Revenant, again, I'll say this once more, you know, what we saw yesterday against Lethal. On attack, Revenant do quite well. I mean, yesterday it was a 6-6 half against Lethal Esports. It was the defense that really failed for the side of RNT and that they have to desperately improve on. So Prime 5 may be banking on that as well. Just survive this first half and then bring back the lead in the second. For the time being, though, Revenant are not going to waste any of said time. They're going to execute onto the bomb site. In an instant, Stranger had that exact lineup ready. Could not catch the opponent in the nick of time. And this is where the better guns just win almost all of the duels. Jivix by himself, 46 HP, has got the judge. No one dares to push him. Paradox wants to take his chances. He gambles on his life and he gambles away his life. But Jivix will be eliminated. And again, a swift round over to the side of RNT.
Well, they picked it up for sure as soon as the 2 rounds after the pistol went down. And they have got themselves back in the driver's seat. They are in the lead, and that is exactly what they want. They want to keep pushing on this, and Split is a dangerous map to face off these Revenant players. And it is so difficult when especially they've got that Paradox and, you know, Wimp combo, the Breach and Neon, who are constantly causing, you know, so much space to be opened up and making their opponents just rethink every single strategy. The smoke comes in about time, but Paradox doesn't give 2 damns about what's in front of him. Beast will take him down though as a result of it, and a lot of utility being dumped against them to get this plant down. But the one good thing is that there is a counter utility available. That is the Killjoy ultimate. Zarya, make sure that nobody comes in from mid. While there is Logi there, he cannot actually go through that. Nor can he jump over. Slow ops being put down to let them know that this is going to be a full force commitment, but the chamber can teleport away. That's not going to be a problem. Knight Rider hasn't actually put down a bit of his foot, but he will get 1 kill before he falls. The ultimate comes through. They're trying to keep everything in play. There goes the counter. Breach ultimate, and everybody from Revenant is just pushing the pedal to the metal. Stranger can only hope for so much, and he is only given death in return. Amazing stuff from the side of Revenant.
Yeah. I mean, from Prime 5, this was an amazing attempt at a retake as well. The utility was there. You had the Rolling Thunder go off just alongside the Killjoy lockdown. Proper positioning. They flooded the bomb site as soon as the lockdown went through. Unfortunately, they did not expect for Knight Rider to still be there because he had the rendezvous. He got the better end of that deal. He managed to fall back. I mean, technically, he still did die, but the thing was he took 1 defender alongside him, and Revenant were able to recover from all of the Rolling Thunder, from all of the utility Prime 5 threw. They countered back with their own. Their counter Rolling Thunder worked, and eventually Prime 5 were just lost in positioning and were isolated. Now, though, Casper, even though he's concussed twice, the judge still sings. Blackhawk finally eliminates the Killjoy, and Prime 5 are relying very heavily on this judge masterpiece. The problem is Revenant can always counter back with their utility, and they can spread in the entire bomb side. Again, economically, a weaker round for Prime 5, but that doesn't mean they're not fighting back. That doesn't mean they're not giving a rebuttal. to Revenant. They surely are. The man count still the same. Both teams have suffered 2 members and their losses, and Revenant are still looking for a place to plant the spike.
Well, they've already found it. It is the B side. But the one thing is that look at where Knight Rider's sitting. He's already in their spawn. And I'm not quite sure if Stranger will expect this. He needs to turn. Oh, it's a close one. But there is a player who's actually backtracking Knight Rider itself. And he needs to turn right. Beast! He sees him! That first bullet could have actually won Knight Rider. But the second one was very quick to the trade. And with Jivix coming back online, they've got now another ultimate to work with. But Beast says, I don't need any of that. I'm going to take care of all of this on my own. And he finds the third. Beast makes the round count for his team as that 1 kill onto Knight Rider saves everything. If Knight Rider could have gotten away with one over there, it would have been a huge problem. But my word, amazing stuff.
Absolutely. The fact that Prime 5 managed to get that thrifty round means so much, because not only is it a round win, more importantly, seeing the economic troubles of Prime 5, they're able to pick up so many of those rifles that were dropped on the side of Revenant Esports. And from the looks of it, oh, Beast, unfortunately, seems like he has disconnected. Hopefully rejoins back as soon as possible. But otherwise, yeah, after that previous round, there's going to be a big jump in the morale of Prime 5. They realize the judge meta is really working. They are like doubling down on the judges, and Revenant have to now check their corners better. Now, this is where an agent like Fade can really work. This is where Sky can be really good. But at the same time, who do you swap out the Sky and Fade for? Like, who goes away from your composition? Sky and Fade work excellently on other maps. At times, we have seen them on the map of Split, but you need other agents here. You need that duelist, you need a Raze, you need a Neon in terms of the Sentinels. I mean, Sage is brought out, but Chamber is a must pick. The Cage is also there, and keeping all of that in mind, it is very necessary to keep your other agents in. So in theory, yes, obviously Fade can work brilliantly. The Prowler or the Trailblazer from Sky can net out those defenders hiding in these pesky, extremely close quarter angles with the judge, looking for very close gunfights, which they are bound to win, because I mean, obviously they've got a shotgun, but practically getting the Sky, getting the Sage is a lot more difficult. So keeping that in mind, right now I think we're just waiting for A Logistra to return back, and B Beast to join back into the lobby as well. But yeah, as soon as all those tech issues are done, from the looks of it, we'll be resuming the first half. And so far, it has been quite equal. I mean, Revenant, they've had their times, but mainly it's been Prime 5 and the economic troubles that have led them down, and because of which they haven't been able to win so many of the rounds. But from the looks of it, when it's a fair 1v1, like Phantom versus Phantom kind of gunfight, both these teams, for the time being, are pretty darn equal.
Yeah, they are pretty equal, I would say. But in terms of how the round execution comes through, I think Revenant take a little bit of the extra push onto that, because they've been very
Right.
meticulous with the way they approach the B side, especially. They know exactly how to push their opponents off. Paradox causing the trouble towards mid. Wherever they go, they have that split approach. They are not going as a one man, sorry, a one forceful push towards A main, or a one forceful push towards B main, right? They always take mid. They take mid and then they approach, and they always contest mid because they know there's no Sage, so they're not going to be able to make a much of a difference in term. Forget there is a Sage, but that Sage is not exactly giving that much of a contention towards mid. They're able to find
Yeah.
the space very easily. Paradox just gets through pretty quickly towards vents, and as soon as that vents control comes in, they know that they've split the entire site entire map into two parts. There's one part where they can split across, come towards A, where they've got three ways to come in. Once they find the A main, they can come in from the ramp region, they can come in from the A main straight, and from vents. And on top of that, they allow their players to first get into the spawn of their enemies. So that's one good thing that the side of Revenant are really doing. But let's find out if it's going to keep working out for them. This time, wall towards mid not being broken down. They're holding on because this wall is actually pretty darn low in its height. And Zaryab should. Oh, I think. Did he spot it?
He spotted
Oh,
it.
no.
Oh
Out of the.
no.
out with just his knife. It's gonna cause him trouble.
Yeah.
Blackhawk even finds Jivix, and now they're gonna get away. Stranger, while he's able to shut down one, he's got a lot more where it is coming. He's been flagged off. Forgive Blackhawk though. He's trying his best, but oh boy, okay, Casper
Mid.
jumping up and down, finding himself kills that he's not supposed to, and Night Riders in spaces that he's not supposed to be in. How the hell did he get through all of that here?
Ulu just looking at the backstab on Casper. Casper's not watching the angle. Easy kill for Logista. And now Beast is all by himself once more. He got a triple kill in the previous round, but this time things get significantly more difficult since he is the only one has no safety net whatsoever.
30
And
seconds
Revenant
left.
have good advantages.
planted.
Primarily, they've got the man advantage and positional as well. As soon as Beast is spotted, it's going to be very difficult. Logista commits to the Cosmic Divide now in a 1 versus 2. It's going to be interesting that he's committed for it. But okay, yeah, it's still a pretty smart Cosmic Divide. Beast has to give his position away near the bomb site if he wants to have a chance at peeking. Now that he's given his position away, yeah, Beast realizes, I think he should back off. He's looking for the gunfight, and Logista secures it. So Revenant Esports, they'll be taking their 5th round on board. They'll be extending the lead. Excellent start to the round. Prime 5 did counter back. I mean, look at the kills that Casper managed to get right here towards Vents. And Revenant weren't really, I mean, very, very careful with the way they were gaining the Vents control. But you had the infiltration tactic of Knight Rider. Logi got a brilliant off-guard kill, got Casper like completely red-handed, and it allowed RNT to swing back and swing the round back in their favor as well. For Prime 5, situational awareness is a must. But Universe, I feel like that's always the problem on the map of Split as well. You don't really have the best of ideas where your opponents are, both on attack and on defense, because there's so many ways to sneak up. We saw that from Knight Rider, we saw that from Casper, be in Defender Spawn, be in Vents, be in B Heaven. How do you counter that as a team? How do you get that situational awareness is a question I think both RNT and Prime 5 are looking to answer.
I would say that Prime 5 need to contest mid with not just that wall. They need to throw down utility. They need to find themselves at least one kill as the first kill, because if they're not able to find that value, which I think is not in their roster just because of the not available, no none. I mean, the reason is that the absence of either maybe a jet and or a chamber, because there's not really a person who can just get with the operator, dash away or teleport away. There's nobody who can do that, and nobody's even picking up the operator on their side. They're more concerned about the judges, and while that is uh, good, I will say that the judge can only do so much, right? When there's a long range duel, of course, you're just going to get absolutely shattered. But when you've got the close angles, which you can exploit, they're cleared up by utility from Revenant. So that judge is like, a love-hate relationship at the moment. And Saryab was ready to use it, but the wall comes up and Paradox could have been a victim to that judge. But look at this, yet again, mid left open. They've taken mid, and it's not like Prime 5 are too worried about this. They're letting them explore this mid region. They don't really have to contest it as such. They're like, you know what, it's alright, just take it. Knight Rider though, he's got control of ramps yet again. This man is allowed time and time again just to walk into A like it's his own home. And every time he does that, he's allowing his teammates to explode into the vent region. But because Jivix takes out his ultimate, they're absolutely gonna discourage whatever happened at B and go towards A. And now it's Daryab waiting with his judge on the side. Could be spammed across that box, but he's got support, and that support has just died as I speak about it. The Cosmic Divide comes up to just keep him alive. The plant is gonna go down. Wimp is absolutely unaware of this. There goes Paradox out in the open to get that kill. And now Beast is the only one left. And he will go on to Paradox as well. Another brilliant round from the side of Revenant. But what the hell happened over there to Prime 5? I don't understand what their approach was in this round.